What if I told you the most powerful thing you could say to someone who broke your heart is absolutely nothing? No angry texts, no desperate calls, no overthinking, just silence, cold, unapologetic, complete. It's not ghosting, it's not avoidance, it's a calculated reclaiming of power. The kind of silence that doesn't scream revenge, it whispers evolution, and that whisper echoes louder than any word ever could. She thought you'd fall apart. She expected tears, rage, drama, that you'd beg for closure, cling to her shadow, try to fix what she threw away, because that's what most do. That's what she's used to. But not you. Not anymore. You did the one thing she wasn't ready for. You went quiet. And silence, that's not emptiness. That's presence. That's control. Because silence isn't about being passive. It's about being precise. It's strategic. It's the moment you stop bleeding and start building. While she's out seeking attention, you're in the gym. While she's on social media, you're building wealth. While she's trying to validate her choices, you're making yourself undeniable. And you're not broadcasting it. You're becoming it. Quietly, ruthlessly. You don't chase what walks away. You don't explain your worth. A Stoic man lets time do the talking and silence do the work. Because when you refuse to react, you become unpredictable. And in a world addicted to attention, unpredictability is power. This isn't about bitterness. This isn't about getting even. This is about rising with your dignity intact. This is about not giving her the performance she hoped for. Let her check her phone and see no missed calls. Let her wonder why you're not watching her stories. Let her feel the absence she created and regret the man she thought would beg. If she thought she ended your story, let your silence be the sequel she never gets to read. So ask yourself, are you trying to win her back? Or are you finally ready to win yourself? If you're done explaining yourself to people who never deserved to understand you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I speak loudest when I say nothing. Now let's begin. Number 1, she expected you to break down. The moment she walked away, she thought she shattered you. She expected the breakdown, the panic, the messages at 2 a.m., that gut-wrenching, please talk to me, because that's the playbook she knows, the one where the man loses his spine the second she pulls away. But you didn't follow the script. You didn't beg. You didn't flood her phone. You didn't lose control. You did something far more dangerous. You went quiet. You left her on red, not to play games, but because you're done playing the role she cast you in. She thought she'd get the version of you that begged for validation. Instead, she got the version that chose self-respect over emotional theatrics. And that silence, that wasn't emptiness, that was strength. It told her everything without saying a word. It said, you're not my God. You don't get to dictate my worth. You don't break me. I rebuild myself. She wanted to feel like she mattered, that her absence caused damage. But when you didn't break, when your routine didn't change, when you didn't even flinch, that's what started messing with her mind. Because now the question isn't, why is he hurting? It's, why isn't he? That silence forces her to reflect. Not on what you said, but on what you didn't. No reaction gives her no closure. No closure makes her spiral. And in that spiral, she'll realize she misjudged you. She thought she left a boy in pieces. What she really did was awaken a man in control. Here's what they don't tell you. Silence is unnerving to those who thrive off emotional chaos. When you don't give them the response they counted on, their illusion of control collapses. You didn't just take your attention away, you took away their power source. And now they're stuck with their own echo. If you're done reacting the way they expect, if you're ready to lead with discipline, not desperation, comment below. My silence is stronger than their chaos. Number 2. Control is more attractive than emotion. Emotional outbursts feel good in the moment. Screaming, venting, lashing out. It feels like release, like power, but it's not. It's a leak. And every time you react, you bleed control. Every text you shouldn't have sent, every argument you dragged out, every emotional post you made thinking she'd see it and miss you, That wasn't strength. That was surrender. She didn't lose respect for you because you cared. She lost respect because you showed her how deeply she still controlled you. But when you stop reacting, when you stop broadcasting your pain, that's when everything shifts. She doesn't know where your head's at anymore. She doesn't know if you've moved on, if you're angry, or if you don't care at all. That silence, it's unsettling, because now you have the control. Control isn't about being robotic. It's about mastering your response. You can still feel everything, but you don't let it dictate your behavior. That's what Stoicism teaches. Emotions are signals, not steering wheels. You don't bury your feelings. You outgrow the need to be led by them. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Control is attractive, deeply attractive. When you show that nothing shakes you, that you're calm under pressure, that no one, not even someone you loved, can pull you out of character, it commands respect. Not just from her, from everyone. You stop being reactive. You start becoming magnetic. Because the man who doesn't chase validation is the man everyone wants validation from. And the man who keeps his emotions in check, he doesn't lose people. He chooses who stays. So the next time you feel the urge to send that long paragraph, to explain yourself, to just check in, remember this: silence isn't passive, it's power. Every moment you don't respond emotionally is a moment you remind her that her influence over you is gone. If you're done making decisions from a place of weakness, if you're ready to take back control, comment below: I master my emotions. They do not master me. Number 3, you become the unknown. Nothing haunts the mind like the unanswered question. And when you go silent, that's exactly what you become: an unsolvable riddle. She doesn't know what you're thinking. She doesn't know if you're hurting, healing, or already moved on. And that uncertainty, it eats away at her, because people can deal with anger, they can deal with sadness, but silence gives them nothing to hold on to. No closure, no narrative, just their imagination. And the imagination is brutal. When you don't speak, she has to fill in the blanks, and the mind, when left unchecked, doesn't paint peaceful pictures. It creates chaos. It replays every moment, every conversation, every decision. Was walking away a mistake? Is he becoming someone better? Is he with someone else? You don't even have to say it. She starts asking it, because when you go ghost, she starts hunting for your presence in everything. Your silence becomes the loudest thing in her life. And here's what most don't understand: mystery is power. In a world where everyone overshares, where people live their emotions online, the one who holds back becomes the one everyone wants to figure out. You stop being predictable, you stop being accessible, and the second she can't read you, she starts needing to. Silence shifts the burden of thought. Instead of you obsessing over her, she starts obsessing over you. Because you're no longer a page she can flip through. You're a closed book. And everyone wants to open the one they can't read. So don't explain yourself. Don't try to make her understand. Don't break the silence just to prove you're fine. Let her sit with the version of you that's out of reach. Let her feel what it's like to lose access, not just to your presence, but to your energy, your thoughts, your world. If you're done being predictable, if you're ready to become the question they can't answer, comment below. Let them wonder. Number 4, attention is currency, and you just cut her off. Attention is the most valuable currency in today's world, and the second you stop giving yours, people feel it. Hard. She didn't just lose a boyfriend or a partner, she lost a spotlight. She lost being seen, validated, centered. Because when you were in it, your focus was constant. You noticed the little things, you checked in, you gave her energy, time, access. You made her feel important. And now, she's just another face in the crowd. She might not admit it, but the silence is deafening. That loss of attention is like oxygen being cut off. Because people get addicted to being the center of someone's world. They feed off that devotion. They don't want you, but they don't want to stop being wanted. And when you cut that off, when you walk away with your dignity intact, and don't look back. They feel the absence in their ego. See, the one who controls their attention controls the power. The moment you stop focusing on her and start focusing on yourself, you instantly shift the dynamic. She becomes irrelevant to your purpose. And that shift? It's loud. It tells her, you don't get my energy just because you once had my heart. And here's the kicker. While she's busy trying to maintain the illusion of happiness, she's checking to see if you're still watching, still caring, still orbiting. But when you've truly gone silent, when your attention is no longer hers to manipulate, that's when she starts to feel the weight of losing you, not just emotionally, but energetically. The Stoic doesn't hand out attention, he invests it, and once the return stops, he walks, quietly, without fanfare, because his energy is sacred, and it's not for those who mistreat it. If you're done spending emotional energy on people who don't respect its value, if you're ready to reinvest in yourself, comment below. My attention is earned, not owed. Number 5. You show her who she really lost. She thought she knew you, thought she could walk away, and you'd stay exactly where she left you, stuck, confused, broken. But here's the truth. Heartbreak doesn't destroy a Stoic man. It awakens him. The silence you gave her wasn't just absence. It was the start of your transformation. And now, without saying a word, you're showing her something far more powerful than pain. You're showing her evolution. You're leveling up, mentally, physically, emotionally. You're in the gym not just to get stronger, but to take control. You're working in silence, building discipline, surrounding yourself with purpose. Every area of your life is sharpening. And the irony? She's not there to see it, but she feels it. Through mutual friends, through your lack of reaction, through the silence that screams, I don't need you to become better. I needed to lose you to realize I could. This is what regret is made of. Not angry words or emotional pleas, but watching from a distance as the person they walked away from becomes everything they swore you'd never be. She didn't think you'd bounce back. She thought she was the best thing that would ever happen to you. Now she's realizing she was just the catalyst, not the destination. You're no longer seeking validation. You're no longer mourning what's gone. You're too busy becoming undeniable, and the more you rise without her, the more she feels the loss of a man she never truly saw. That's the real revenge. Not loud, not spiteful, just undeniable growth. So don't break the silence. Don't update her. Don't send proof. Let your presence disappear and your progress speak for itself. Let her sit with the version of you she can no longer reach. If you're done proving yourself to people who overlooked your worth, if you're ready to rise in silence, comment below. I grow in the shadows and shine without permission. Number 6. Emotions are weapons. Only if you hand them over. Emotions aren't weakness. Let's get that straight. Feeling pain, anger, sadness, those aren't flaws, they're human. But broadcasting them, that's where you lose power. The moment you hand your emotional state to someone else, you give them control over your inner world. And when she left, she expected that control, expected to see you spiral, lash out, maybe even fall apart. But when your silence said, I feel everything, but I owe you nothing, you took that weapon out of her hands. That's the Stoic difference. You don't pretend you don't feel. It's that you refuse to be led by those feelings. You hold the storm behind your eyes and you stay still, because silence is self-respect. And discipline is louder than any breakdown. She doesn't know what's going on in your mind, and that uncertainty, that's power, that's strength, that's how you win. She might expect you to be emotional bait, to say something reckless, to seek closure, to let your emotions make you look weak. But every time you don't respond, every time you walk away from the opportunity to prove your pain, you remind her, you don't get access to my vulnerability anymore. You keep your composure, you maintain the frame, and eventually she starts to realize she lost more than a man. She lost access to someone who was built different. That's what dark psychology knows, and Stoicism sharpens. People only have power over you if you let them see you lose yours. So when you stay grounded, when you control your state, when you walk through emotional fire without making a scene, you become untouchable. If you're done giving people weapons they can use against you, if you're ready to move with quiet strength, comment below, I control the fire, I do not burn. Number 7. You shift from chaser to challenge. Before the silence you were chasing. Maybe not literally, but emotionally. You were reaching, checking in, hoping she'd reconsider, hoping she'd see your value. That energy, that was pursuit. And the moment she felt it, she leaned back. Why? Because in most cases, people don't value what chases them. They value what they have to earn. But now, you're not chasing. You're not explaining. You're not showing up in her notifications anymore. You became the one who got quiet. And suddenly, the game flipped. You went from the chaser to the challenge. From the expected reaction to the unexpected stillness. From predictable to dangerously silent. And now she's not sure where she stands. That's the thing. When you remove your energy, your attention, your effort, it creates a vacuum. And that vacuum pulls. It creates pressure. Now she starts wondering, why isn't he chasing? Has he moved on? Did I matter at all? Here's what most men don't realize. Detachment creates curiosity, and curiosity creates attraction. When you stop trying to prove your worth, people start questioning why you don't need to. It's that shift from seeking to holding back that makes people look twice. Not because you're playing games, but because you finally stopped playing theirs. This is what Stoic mastery looks like. You don't move based on emotion. You move based on values. And if someone walked out on you, you let them, not with bitterness, not with revenge, but with complete acceptance and silence. Because you don't chase what devalues you, you become the standard. Now she's the one wondering. Now she's the one uncertain. You flipped the narrative without saying a single word. If you're done proving yourself to those who walked away, if you're ready to become the standard, not the seeker, comment below, I don't chase, I choose. Number 8. The comeback is in the stillness. Everyone talks about the comeback, the glow up, the revenge body, the flex. But the real comeback, it doesn't happen in public. It's not loud. It doesn't need to be seen. It happens in silence, in the hours no one sees. In the gym when it's just you and the weight. In the early mornings when your phone is dry but your purpose is loud. The stillness is where your power returns. Not in the noise, not in the drama, in the discipline. After she left, you could have made it your whole personality. You could have posted quotes, thrown shade, begged for validation. But you didn't. You disappeared. You got quiet. And in that silence, you started rebuilding, brick by brick, day by day. That's what she never expected. Because most guys make a scene, you made a comeback. And here's the truth. By the time they realize you're rising, it's already too late. Because you didn't do it to prove anything. You did it because that version of you, the desperate, broken version, was never the real you. That was the you that forgot your power. The silence helped you remember it. She thought the silence meant weakness, but it meant rebirth. And now, while she's checking for signs of life, you're already living at a level she can't reach. You didn't just move on. You elevated, quietly, strategically, relentlessly. And when your name comes up, it's no longer attached to pain, it's attached to progress. So don't announce your growth. Let her hear about it when it's too late. Let her scroll and wonder. Let her friends mention you in passing and trigger that what if. Because the real glow-up doesn't need a spotlight, it just needs focus. If you're done performing pain and ready to evolve in silence, comment below, I rebuild quietly, I return stronger. Number 9. Detachment is devastating. You loved her. Let's not pretend otherwise. You showed up. You gave her access to your heart, your mind, your energy, and when she walked away, it hurt. But here's the difference. You didn't cling. You didn't beg. You detached. And that's what cuts deeper than anger ever could. See, most people expect resentment. They expect you to hold on, to obsess, to watch from afar and wait for them to come back. But when you detach, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You stop being someone she left behind. You become someone she can't reach anymore, and that is devastating. Detachment doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you care too much about yourself to let someone else own your peace. It means you let go, fully. No strings, no unfinished business. You stopped asking why. You stopped checking. You stopped trying to fix what clearly wanted to break. And now, you're not cold. You're clear. She might try to provoke a response. Post something for attention. Reach out just to see if the hook still works. But when you stay still, when your silence holds the line, that's when she starts to feel the true weight of her choices. You didn't move on to make her jealous. You moved on because she's no longer worth the space. That's the Stoic advantage. Detachment isn't numbness, it's clarity. You don't react because you've already accepted reality, and when you accept what is, no one can use it against you. You're no longer tied to what could have been. You've become the one that got away, because you walked away, not with bitterness, but with full control. If you're done holding on to what's already gone, if you're ready to protect your peace at all costs, comment below, I let go and I rise. Number 10. You become the lesson she'll never forget. There's always one man she remembers differently. Not because he screamed, begged, or blew up her phone, but because he vanished with dignity. Because while she expected chaos, she got silence. While she braced for drama, she got indifference. And while she thought she'd be unforgettable, you became the one etched in her mind. You didn't chase closure. You didn't try to prove you were worth keeping. You walked away like a man who knows his value doesn't disappear just because someone else couldn't see it. And that walk, that calm, silent exit, that's what sticks. That's what haunts her. Because everyone remembers the one who kept their power, the one who didn't need to burn bridges to prove a point, the one who simply stopped showing up and became impossible to replace. Not out of spite, but because you became the man she couldn't reach, couldn't figure out, couldn't forget. And when life humbles her, when the attention fades, when her ego isn't fed, when she realizes the next guy doesn't measure up, that's when your silence roars. Because now there's no way back. You've evolved too far. You've built too much. And she'll never get to experience this version of you. That's the real loss. Not the man she left, but the man you became after she did. So, no, you're not her enemy. You're her awakening. A quiet reminder that you were never just an option. You were the standard. And by the time she figures that out, your silence will be the only thing left between you. If you're done being a memory and ready to become a lesson, comment below. I was the blessing they didn't recognize. Silence isn't weakness, it's precision, it's power. It's the final move of a man who refuses to break himself to be understood by someone who didn't value him in the first place. You don't need to prove anything to anyone who walked away. You don't need to perform pain for someone who expected you to fall apart. Let your silence speak louder than their ego can handle. Let your growth happen so far outside their reach that by the time they look back, you've already built a new life. A stronger one, a quieter one that doesn't include them. This isn't about revenge. It's about remembering who you are, about leading with calm, about never letting someone else dictate your value again. You are not here to chase. You are not here to explain. You are here to rise. So the next time someone leaves thinking you'll crumble, smile. Say nothing. Disappear. Then come back unrecognizable. If this message hit you where it needed to, if you're done letting your emotions be a playground for people who never deserved your heart, hit that like button. Subscribe for more content that sharpens your mind and builds your inner power. Turn on notifications so you never miss a drop of Stoic mastery. And finally, drop a comment below. My silence is my strength, my growth is my revenge. This is Stoic blessing. Stay silent, stay sharp, stay untouchable.